Hi, I'm Prepper Kiwi Carolyn.
Hi, I'm Prepper Kiwi Rose. In this series, we'll be talking about crafting and making anything that you might need for a prepping situation.
These are ANZAC biscuits. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make them. Some of you might be thinking, that doesn't look like the chewy, coconutty, oaty, delicious ANZAC biscuit that I know and love, and you would be right. That biscuit wasn't eaten by the ANZACs at Gallipoli, but was made popular after the men returned home. If you want to learn more about the history of ANZAC biscuits, I'll put a link below to the New Zealand Army Museum where you can start your research. The biscuits that the ANZAC ate were British Army issue Huntley and Palmer's No. 4 biscuits. They are extremely hard, extremely durable, and keep an extremely long time. There's some in the museum that are over 100 years old and probably as hard as they were on the day they were made. Some of you will be thinking they look a lot like the Huntley and Palmer's cream crackers that I've had cheese on, which they do, but those biscuits had a lot more ingredients than these ones and were a lot softer than these ones. The only ingredients in these biscuits, in the ship's biscuits or hardtack or army biscuits, which is what they were sometimes called, is whole wheat flour and water. This year I thought I'd make some white flour ones just for a change. All you need to do is mix flour and water together. The ratio is about 1 part water to 2 parts flour. You mix it and roll it out the same way you would with a scone dough, but it's not as stable as scone dough, so you have to be careful with it. Use a baking tray or a baking paper because it will be difficult to manage otherwise. You cut it the same way you would cut scones. The one difference, and very critical in this recipe, is you need to put holes in the biscuit. The reason you do this is because these biscuits are cooked on a really low temperature, 50 degrees Celsius or below, which effectively I would say is dehydrating the biscuit rather than cooking it, and the holes were put there so that the biscuit itself would cook right through. Perhaps this is the reason the Huntley Palmer's biscuits still have the holes in them. It aids in cooking the biscuit right through without burning the outside. They take quite a while to cook or dehydrate, anything up to 8 hours. My understanding is that when they cook these at the factory, they cook them several times, probably because they were going home and didn't want to leave the ovens on. I'm not sure exactly, but that would be my guess. So cooked at a very low temperature, let cool down, and then cooked again, and then cooked again, until you had a really hard, dense biscuit, which is what these are now. These are made with white flour, but they are still very dense. I made this video in the hope that it would inspire people to make the real ANZAC biscuits in memory of the ANZACs who were prepared to fight for the way that we live in New Zealand and Australia, lest we forget.